imbalance in their mental health, emotional health. One, they should consider that. Secondly, finally, asset protection is also very, very important factor which no one should ignore.
Yeah.
It's better to lodge a caveat so that the asset will not be sold. There are many instances the assets are sold when they are in under sole name.
Yeah. I guess there is also one of the ways by calling the bank and getting the account freezed. Hello everyone, I'm Reena again at Real Talk with Reena, and today I am here with a very touchy topic of the community. A problem which is happening in a lot of couples' life, which is taking happiness of the whole family. But if done in a proper way, if it has to be and done in a proper way, this wouldn't be that bad as it is actually happening nowadays. So the topic is separation in a family, in couples. Now let's talk today with a lawyer, Priyanka Shripad from KPM Lawyers, who is here to talk about the how, when, and what we should taking things in account when we are actually separating. So thank you, Priyanka, for coming on board again.
Thank you very much, Reena, for calling me again.
Thank you. So, Priyanka, this is a very touchy topic. You're a lawyer, and especially, family law is is your specialty. So, how many cases do you generally, receive or get phone calls about separation and family, divorce and all?
If you ask me in a day, I at least get a new calls, at least not less than 5 to 6 new calls.
Okay.
Apart from existing
clients, yeah.
Clients, yeah.
Absolutely.
Recurring ones, yeah.
Yeah. So, what is a separation in legal way?
Separation parties, let's say couple, they were together as a married or a de facto, they tend to get off of their relationship. That is just separation. They don't want to continue the relationship.
Okay.
In simpler words. Yeah.
All right. And I've heard there are different type of separations.
Yeah, usually there are two types. Like one is separation under one roof. Although they don't live as a couple, there's no relationship between them as a couple, but they still live under same roof. That's number one. And number two is a physical separation, where we call it as a physical separation, where the parties, at least one party, leaves the house and starts living separately in a separate address, to simplify it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically people can live in the same house and be separated too.
Yeah.
Okay. But then how do they, because I've seen that sometimes one party is saying I'm separated, but the other does not say that even after a couple of months, they'll say, no, we were never separated because we were under the same roof, living together. So how does the other party, show or, give an evidence that we were separated? What should they do to have a proof that they were separated?
Usually people don't know that there should be a formal indication of separation. One party has to inform other that this marriage is broken down or relationship is broken down irretrievably. That needs to be formally informed to the other party. If there is no formal indication of that particular thing, that's where the confusion starts. The other party don't understand. One party feels, oh, we are living as normal or something usual, but the other party knows that this is separation under one roof, and then after an year or within a year I'll file for the divorce. So separation letter is something we recommend to formally establish the separation date.
And do lawyers write separation letters?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So with separation, as it is a very emotional moment in everyone's life, in the couple's life. Some people show it and some people don't show it. So what should when they're thinking of separating, before the actual separation, what are the things they should consider?
There are a couple of things they should consider. One is firstly emotional well-being. That's the first thing I see people are like imbalance in their mental health, emotional health. One, they should consider that. Secondly, emotional well-being of children, how children arrangements has to be taken care so that their routine don't get disturbed.
Yeah.
Thirdly, the financial matters, like once I am separated, how I'm going to live, where I'm going to live, what kind of a support system I had. Do I have any support system, whether within the community or within the government or any other place? They need to do some little workout. Fourthly, they need to understand what are their rights if that is I am separated, what happens next, and how I'm going to manage everything, including work, taking care of the children, whether children are going to live with me or with the other party, what kind of effects that every person in the relationship, including children, will have. Finally, asset protection is also very, very important factor, which no one should ignore.
Yeah. So sometimes what happens is when people separate, they take out all the money from the joint accounts. You
They
know?
do.
Yeah. And then the other party is left with nothing. So what should they do to avoid that?
Basically, immediately they separate, they need to at least take 50% money out of that particular bank account, joint account. If it is a joint account, it's better to take their 50% before they move out, or at least sit down and talk about it and tell them, look, at least whatever the money is in bank account, let's take 50%, 50%. And the rest, we will talk about it later. And if there are any sole properties, let's say the properties under only husband name or under only sole name of wife, it's better to lodge a caveat so that the asset will not be sold. There are many instances the assets are sold when they are in under sole name.
Yeah. I guess there is also one other way is by calling the bank and getting the account freezed.
Not always they do it. If it is joint, yes. Let's say there is an amount in only husband's account.
Yeah, of
So
course,
you can't get it frozen.
Yeah, but if the joint account is there, they can still
They
freeze,
can.
right?
There are some things that needs to be followed. Yes, that can be possible, but not all the time, because if there is a business account, you cannot freeze
You
it.
can't. That's true. So, before they get divorced, how much time do they need to be separated?
At least an year, one
At
year.
least a year, 12 months,
12 months.
right? Can people get divorced before those 12 months?
No.
No, they can't. Okay. What if they have been in a marriage for a very long time, but they never had any physical intimacy between them? Can that change the 12-month separation time?
No.
No. Okay. What if so if they want to do any financial and parenting arrangements? Let's talk about parenting arrangement. Is there any time frame they need to follow, or can they just do it anytime after separation?
Anytime after separation. Anytime after separation, after divorce, anytime.
Formalizing. But for financial, is there any time foundation for financial distribution?
I wouldn't say foundation, but I would say that 1 year post divorce, you should at least have the matter in the court. That's 1 year is a major, after divorce, 1 year is a major time. That's a very important time to distribute and finalize all your asset related issues. Once you lose that 1 year period, you need to seek a leave from the court.
Okay, all right. And that's what lawyers anyhow help with. So can a partner demand financial support or spousal maintenance during a separation?
Yes.
They can.
They can. There are a lot of factors towards it. That's a huge topic, but they can. The simple answer is yes.
Okay. And what I've seen is people try and make their own arrangements for parenting and for finance. And then there are disagreements between them. And then then it gets so much heated up that they actually end up losing everything, or the kids suffer. So how can they reduce the disagreement? How can they handle it?
It's better they consult lawyer to formalize the agreement. It's much easier. The ambiguity will be abolished if you can contact a lawyer and get it, or lawyers individually, and get it formalized, make a consent orders, or at least a parenting plan, so that everybody know what needs to be followed, what's your obligations. There are, apart from arrangement, there are many other obligations that parties needs to formalize it just to have an understanding post separation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we want to. A lot of people try and save cost of lawyers. It's been said that lawyers are very expensive. Sorry to say that, but yeah, that's what they say.
It is.
Yeah, so they want to try and not go for that cost and get everything sorted in between them. And sometimes they just have an informal arrangement between them. I've heard of a term financial binding agreement. Am I correct? Is it worth having it, or is it better to go to the court and get it stamped?
If you think about financial agreement, it's called BFAs. Rather than BFAs, it's always advisable to get a consent order.
Yeah.
Consent order is not like it's not contested orders. Okay. It's by consent. Even BFAs are done by consent. But there is always a way to set aside the BFA. It's easier to set aside a BFA for a lot of reasons, but there is an option when you have a different arrangement, because to court to make the consent orders or any orders, court needs to be satisfied. Some court needs certainty.
Yeah.
So in those instances, people choose BFAs. It depends on their circumstances, but we always recommend first consent orders. If there is an issue with that, we can advise them what's the issue, and then BFAs, and maybe a last option.
But isn't that BFA can be contested easily than the court orders, consent
set aside.
orders?
Yes, that's what. Set aside. It's called set aside rather than contested. Yeah, BFAs are problematic because they are always, most of the times they will be set aside, or there'll be applications to set aside the BFA for various reasons.
Okay, all right. So it's better than you go to the court and get it done, right?
It's not going to the court for consent order. That's very easy. It's making an application to the court. It's just not fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. So even during separation, people have, usually people fight on who wants to live in the house. That is a very important topic which everyone, gets trouble into. And so what do they do? Who decides and who lives in the house? Because people want to throw the other party out, whereas the other party does not want to go. Then how can they decide who's going to live in the house?
It is a huge topic, honestly, but I'll tell you in a very simple format.
Yeah.
The capacity, we call it as capacity of the party to retain the house, whether the party can pay the mortgage, whether the retaining party is capable to pay the other party his share or her share to take them out of the house, to keep them out of the house. So, and there are many other factors. Parenting also comes into the picture, whether there is competing proposals that, let's say, both husband and wife both want to retain the house, both has capacity. Then courts looks into whose care the children are.
Yeah.
Is it easier for the children if the mom retains or a dad retains? So there are many factors. But yeah, important is capacity to pay off one, capacity to retain.
A lot of people have started using intervention orders actually to throw the person out of the house, which is very common in the community, right? But sometimes it can take a U-turn and come on the person if the complaint is not genuine. What do you have to say about that?
Intervention orders are not to throw anybody out of the house. Basically, they are safety orders.
Yeah.
Basically, they are for the safety. Court thinks or a system thinks that the person needs protection. It's a protection order. So yeah, there are always cross applications, because sometimes protection needed to be for both parties. It don't have to be a one party.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that if somebody is using to throw out of the house, it's a system abuse.
Yes, that's
not
correct.
That's not the way it should work. It's for the protection, and it has to be genuine. If you're not using it for a genuine purpose, it can come back badly.
Yeah, that's true. So with separation as well, when a lot of people, if one person is financially dependent on the other party, then this question is very, it just stuck in your mind. Even if you're in an abusive relationship, you do not want to get out of this relationship because you do not have money. So what can we do about that? What can a woman or a man do in that circumstances?
Partial maintenance is one of the options, but obviously there are many factors attached to it. It's not that easy to get, but there is an option. One. Second, many times we recommend, generally, it's a conception that mother is a primary carer for the children. So there is two children or three children. The mother generally lives in the same house so that it's easier for the children for the schools and other stuff. And husband, we ask the husband to pay the mortgage, continue paying the mortgage, because the woman doesn't have an financial freedom at this stage and any capacity to pay it, but that can be adjusted later in the future at the time of settlement. So there are many arrangements that can be made. If there is no agreement on that, the court can also make these orders. Let's say the husband has 50,000, 60,000 in his bank account, and the wife is left with nothing and on the road. And then we can apply to the court and ask at least pay some maintenance for the children and the wife, and let her stay in that particular house, and he's having an income, he can live on that with that income. So you just have to come out and speak and look for your options, honestly.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing I want to add up to this is that, if you don't have money, and then if you feel that you want to get separated and you want to walk out of this relationship, then you can always contact Centrelink. You can always contact Safe Steps, Orange Door, 1800 Respect. These are the numbers where you can contact and speak to them. Then you will be able to get social workers. If you are still not able to take a decision, you can always go for some counseling services as well, or you can go to a lawyer and ask them that what steps you should take and how, and understand that. So one more question is that there's a lot of people who have this myth, this in their mind, negativity in their mind, that if they ever go to a lawyer and ask them about separation and all, that means the house is just completely broken. Okay, what do you want to say about it?
I don't really agree. I've seen people going through the system and then they've reconciled it. However, if they have some thoughts, that means there is some red flags you've seen in the family.
Yes.
It's better come down and sit down and talk, and then seek some help, maybe a counseling to understand emotional well-being, and also a lawyer's help to understand the rights towards the parenting and then property, and then make a decision. Weigh your options and then make a decision.
Yeah, coming to a lawyer is not about that you actually are divorced now. It's basically to prepare yourself if something wrong goes on. Am I correct?
Absolutely spot on, Reena. It's also how to protect the things.
Yeah,
it's all protection. What I always say is use us as a shields rather than in weapons.
Yeah. Can you talk about where is your office as well?
Yeah, my office is in Williams Landing. It's in Overton Road.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And what kind of cases do you handle?
I handle family, criminal and civil matters, share disputes, contracts, all more of general civil matters and certain extent criminal matters. I don't do much of murder cases or something. I don't do a high extent cases. But rest, intervention
You do
orders.
properties as well.
Yeah, intervention orders, traffic related offences.
Yeah.
Property settlements, divorce, any property law issues, caveats, removal of caveats, all these things I do.
Okay.
And we have a team. We have a very, very good team in a regular basis.
Yeah, and then I work for her, by the way. I work with her. Yeah. So thank you so much, Priyanka. For all your help so far. And I know this topic, separation, is a very touchy topic, but it is a very tricky one as well, because people don't know where to go. It's like a dark a road where because there's nothing at the back, you just have to walk, but you don't know where you have to go.
Correct.
So I think it is very important for people to come and talk to the lawyers and know their rights, rather than just blindly going anywhere and sitting in. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and hope to chat with you again on more topics.
Same, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So that was Priyanka, and we talked about separation. So one thing I would like to just add on to it is that if you are in a dilemma, or as Priyanka said, if there is any red flags which you have seen in your relationship, and you think that you are actually going on a path of separation or thinking of, always go to a lawyer. take a consultation. There's no harm in spending few dollars in taking a consultation, knowing all your rights, what exactly you can face or you might about to face, and how you can protect your children from being emotionally abused, or how can you also fix yourself, or how you can protect your assets as well. So all these things are very important. So if you know the path, it is easier for you to walk on it rather than getting dragged on this and harming yourself. So that's all for today. That's all with Real Talk with Reena. If you have any questions, please contact KPM lawyers on the details there, and we'll be there to help you. Thank you.